Went to go and do my internship in London, but was getting all of these like followers on this app like in secret, and my job didn't know. And then one day my manager called me into the office and was like, is this you? Because I'd got into an argument with Rebecca Vardy on Twitter.
And then you've got Ekin.
Oh my God,
Can
Ekin.
we settle the beef?
Me and Ekin like message.
I remember this tweet coming out calling you out.
This was a wild time.
I was with my sister and went, hang on, chokes on my tea. I'm like, what?
Imagine how I felt. The concert ended and then the lights came up, everybody like started to get ready to go.
And it was them, wasn't it?
And then you just heard this bang. And everybody was like looking around. I'd say there was like a 5-second moment where it was silence across the entire arena.
Hey guys, welcome back to another season of Charlize's Private Story. This new series is going to be so good because I'm so excited to share even more about my world as I keep you guys up to date with everything that's going on in my life and spill even more tea. If you're new here, I'm a content creator with a passion for all things beauty and fashion, and I love to overshare and tell you guys a bit too much, so on this podcast you can expect things about my relationships, friendships and even more. And every week I'm joined by other influencers, celebrities, my own family members and friends to talk all about the latest gossip, their picnics and their very own private stories. And I want you guys to keep getting involved just like you did last season, so please make sure to keep sending in your latest stories, questions and dilemmas for us to work through in this judgment-free zone. So welcome back to my private story. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Charlize's Private Story. So, for season 2, first episode, there was no one else I wanted other than Max Balegde. Hello.
See, what people don't realise here is that there's actually a crowd of 40,000 people that watch you film, and we've sorted out the mic so you can't hear them cheering, but it feels great to see you all. Hi everyone.
Everyone's here. We've got our 40k people in the crowd.
My God.
Basically at O2 right now.
Yeah, literally.
But how is everything going?
It's really good. It's so nice to see you.
So, for maybe people that don't know who you are, can you give us a little info? Who are you?
Of course. So, yeah, my name is Max Balegde. I am a TikToker, podcaster, presenter, and a weirdo who shares far too much of his personal life with the internet.
Which I love.
There we go.
I'm here for it.
Do you know what? I love it as well.
Great. So recently you've interviewed Florence Pugh, Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet. And I saw him from a distance at the Wonka premiere and was like, oh my God. But you actually got to speak to these people.
Honestly, like, I could not believe that it was happening. When I got like the call to do it,
yeah,
we didn't know at first whether it was going to be digital or like in person.
Yeah. And I bet you was praying it was going to be
in person. Oh my gosh, I found out pretty much the night before that it was going to be in person. So I was like, right, okay, so I've got to put some tanning drops on because I look like I'm dead. And I got brought in the morning to this building in London that I'd never even seen before, but is so huge and like so central.
Yeah.
And none of us could work out what this building was for. Like, there was like security outside, lots of paparazzi outside. I paused for them, but weirdly they didn't take a picture. That's really rude.
Do you not know who I am?
I literally what? Like, oh my God. And then we got put in this whole holding room, and I, obviously being me, was like, okay, so I'm going to ask Timothy about Kylie Jenner. Like, yeah. I'm sure that will go down fine. But luckily, things like that, when you like interview these big profile celebrities,
yeah,
you pretty much get told beforehand, know this, know that, know that.
Did they say no to Kylie?
Well, I said, they didn't say outright, like, don't ask that. They said, like, no personal questions. But I had to do this, like, weird thing where I had to read, originally it got cancelled, but I was supposed to be reading Timothée Chalamet a poem, like, as part of the interview. It was very bizarre.
Right.
And when I was doing it, I was going to jokingly say to the camera, like, beforehand, like, Kylie, if you're watching at home, love, I'm not flirting with your boyfriend, but I've got to read this poem, something along those lines. Right. So I wasn't going to be like, how is she in bed or something like that. But I was just going to like make a little reference to her or whatever.
Oh my God.
But luckily I asked beforehand, like, will I be okay to say that? And they were like, no. And they told us that like one of the people that had interviewed them earlier that day had asked personal questions.
Yeah.
And then like on the spot, it was pretty much like, we don't even know if that'll be able to be released because, like, you know, you're asking them personal questions about their life when they're here to talk about their work.
Yeah.
But it was very tense.
What was Zendaya like?
She was so lovely. Like,
that makes me happy.
first of all, the most beautiful person that I've ever seen, like, up close. Like, I was, like, looking at, like, her skin and was just like, how is this real?
Slankum.
Like, no, there we go.
There's a walking advert.
Honestly,
Literally.
like, go to an airport, she's there.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like, no pores. Like, they were also tall, but then, and I thought, oh my God, these people are like freakishly tall, all of them. And then I realized, no, they were all wearing heels, of course.
Yeah, literally.
But
Wow.
oh my God, it was just amazing. Austin Butler like walked straight over and shook my hand. And I was like,
That's lovely.
what do I do now? Like, this is crazy. Florence Pugh, because she's obviously the only British one that was there. They're all American. And I felt like this, like, kind of banter with her, and I tried to like establish that early on. I was like, Florence Pugh, British legend or something, and she was like, cheers love, and I was like, how often does she say cheers love?
Never. Oh my God.
So I was absolutely loving it. And afterwards I got a picture with them, and she like rubbed my back and she was like, you did really well. And I was like, thank you, because you could tell that I was obviously like nervous.
Yeah.
But it was amazing.
Oh my God. I needed to ask you this though, because I don't actually know much about your past. So you've been doing this for 3 years?
Yes.
4 years? Lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What did you actually do before?
So I was at university.
Yeah.
I was studying, well, I first went to uni in Bristol to study film because I thought I was cool and edgy. So I dropped out of there because I quickly realised that I am neither cool nor edgy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of these like artistic people that like just like wanted to like chill out and like make creative films, I just did not gel with them at all.
No.
So I did what any reasonable person would do that wants to get a job and earn money, and I decided I'm going to study marketing instead. So I went to Newcastle Uni.
Nice.
Which is literally the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, everyone's like, whoa, let's go out. It was wild. Studied digital marketing. Between my second and third year, I was doing a placement year where you get to basically go and find like an internship or something. And I got an internship in London at like this really big company. And I was so excited to like move to London for a year, like get all this experience. And then COVID happened. So I did what anybody else did and downloaded TikTok. Didn't really post on it for ages. If anything, when I got it, I was kind of like, why am I getting this app? Like, this is so cringe. Because you, like I said before, you're the same age as my little sister.
Yeah.
At that point, I was going, my little sister's on this app. Like, she's like 7 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Why would I get it as like her older brother? But then COVID happened. Everyone got it. And
it makes me laugh when everyone used to take the mick out of TikTok now, and it's like everyone
it's
uses
everything.
it.
It's literally like it's like a search engine now.
It actually
like,
is. When I need to search something up about someone or something, I do not go on Safari anymore.
No.
I type up TikTok videos. 100%. I find them so much more amusing.
Me too.
as well.
And it's so much like you get like real people's like opinions on the restaurant or something that you want to go to.
I always do this as well.
Yeah.
If I want to go somewhere in Paris, the other day I was like, what restaurant? And then I was like looking at the comments, seeing what people say about
100%.
them. But no, how was your family's kind of reaction to this?
Oh my God. Well, so I was working full time.
Yeah.
And posted a video. I can't remember what my first post was. Probably something deeply humiliating that I'm sure people in the comments will go and find. And it got like 3,000 likes. And before this, I didn't have any like followers on social media, like nothing. I had like an Instagram account that I updated my grandma on what I was doing in my life with. But I didn't have like any social media following. So to get 3,000 likes, I was like, I'm famous. Like, oh my God.
10K.
Like,
when it hit the K.
Yes.
On views, you'd be like, yes.
Yeah, literally. I was like, this is mad.
Yeah.
And then just carried on from there. Went to go and do my internship in London, but was getting all of these like followers on this app, like in secret, and my job didn't know. And then one day, my manager called me into the office and was like, is this you? Because I'd got into an argument with Rebecca Vardy on Twitter. Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
The one who like lied about like the Colleen Rooney
Yeah, the
thing.
Rooney, that's it.
Yeah, so I got into this argument with her.
Wait, what?
So there was like...
You kept this one quiet.
I know, it was so weird. It's such a weird time in my life. Like, this is such an odd thing. But so she... it was at the time when like this whole thing was like coming out, and there was a huge meme on the internet that it was ... Rebecca Vardy's account, because that's what Colleen Rooney put at the end of the statement where she like revealed who it was.
Yeah.
So I was making TikToks all the time, like in my spare time, and someone just kept reporting them. And TikTok's quite annoying with that, because if someone reports it, just gets taken down.
They look at it, and then it might get back up after 4 weeks, months.
So that kept happening. So I just put a tweet out like, guys, whoever is reporting my videos, I want you to know that I know who you are, and this is not okay. It was ... Rebecca Vardy's account, as an obvious joke.
Yeah.
She then replies to it saying, how dare you accuse me of this? My family are like suffering over these rumors. I've never done a such thing. And I was like, first of all, Rebecca, this is obviously a joke. I don't think anybody thinks that you are spending your spare time reporting my TikTok videos. Second of all, I did not tag her in the post, so she was obviously searching her own name in Twitter, which is hilarious. Third of all, I spelt her name wrong. So she's not only searching her own name, she's searching misspellings of her own name as well, which just was hilarious. And then the Daily Mail wrote an article on it, and my manager saw it. So I get called into the office the next day, and he's like, is this you? And I'm obviously humiliated. I'm thinking, I'm about to get sacked.
Yeah.
Like all of this stuff. He didn't sack me. Instead, he was just like, right, just don't do anything stupid, and like, we'll like, you know, enjoy your hobby, basically. Cut to my internship ended, and the weekend that I finished my internship, I hit 1 million followers. And then I literally got signed to an agency that same day, and then it was been my full-time job ever since.
So you just after that you left uni?
Yeah, I actually went back to do my third year of uni.
Yeah.
But this was the weird thing. So like obviously you know what it's like. I feel like when you get a following, there's certain like areas that you would know if you went there, then there would be a lot of people that would come over. For example, like if you went to like a Little Mix concert, I'm sure that a lot of your followers would be there.
I said I'm going to Olivia Rodrigo. The amount of people that are going, I'm like,
Yeah, see, there you go. Like, and for me, I hadn't discovered that yet because I had all these followers, but it was still COVID.
Yeah.
So like things were starting to open, but I'd only ever met like 3 people in person that knew who I was. And so I went back to Newcastle.
Me as well.
Yeah,
it was lockdown
crazy.
blow up, and then you go out and you're like, whoa.
It's mental.
Yeah.
But so the kind of thing happened when I went back to Newcastle to finish my degree, thinking my life's still normal, like I can still like go about and do everything. And then the restrictions lifted, clubs opened up.
Yeah.
I went with my friends to a club night in Newcastle that we'd been to 100 times before, and literally it was the most chaotic thing ever. I was bleeding from my neck from people like trying to grab and like get pictures. People get videos. So the security thought that we were like inciting a riot in the club, and they tried to like, they came over like screaming at us, trying to like kick us out. We ended up leaving. I burst into tears.
I can imagine.
I'm not the sort of person to like cry over like things like that either. And that was such a wake up call of like, oh my gosh, like this is a real thing now.
You can't just go to Co-op anymore.
Can't just go to the shop and get a pint of milk.
You can't do anything anymore, guys.
No, but it was just like, for me, I found out that a lot of my followers are like 18 to 25-year-olds that are like uni students and that are going to go to club nights like that. I found out in that moment, wow, this is where all my followers are. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's not when you just go to like a shopping centre with kids. It's more like you've got definitely an older demographic than I have.
Yeah, and it was like, it was crazy.
So this is a little bit more of like a deeper question, but obviously recently I've seen that you've been talking quite a lot about the Ariana Grande attack that happened in Manchester in 2017. This is just a trigger warning for anyone listening, and wants to skip this part, you can just skip this part and go back to the picnics. That must have been like the most like in your face, like what is happening?
Crazy. It was literally like it was the Ariana Grande Dangerous Woman tour.
Yeah.
Iconic album, by the way. We love.
Such a good album.
We were really excited. Just me and my little sister went, and the way that we do it, and we do that with Little Mix concerts as well. Like I'd take her and like a friend or something, but on this occasion it was just me and Martha. And my parents, so she's my half sister, so it's my mum and her dad, so like my stepdad. They dropped us off at the concert, and then they went to go for a meal. And the weirdest thing is that they were actually supposed to meet us at the exit where the bomb went off. Like the plan was for them to wait there for us to then get out the concert, meet them, go to the car, drive home. Yeah. And we're at the concert, like everything's going on. So many weird things happen. So as well as that, when the concert was about to end, so at most concerts they do like an encore, don't they? Where they fake finish, and then she comes back. And we were at the opposite end of the arena as to where the bomb went off and where like the main exit was. Yeah. So I said to my little sister when she'd gone off and I knew she was going to come back on, I said, let's go now round that side And then she's going to come back on. We'll watch it from over there, and then we'll be the first people out. We'll meet like your mum and dad, and then we'll be the first to get out. We'll beat all the traffic, basically.
Yeah.
In which case, we would have been hit by the bomb, because like that is exactly where it was. And for whatever reason, my little sister was like, no, let's just stay here. Like, we've got really good seats. Like, my little sister, who is like 7 or 8 years younger than me, like, and I just listened to her. Don't know why. I was so insistent that was our plan from the beginning of the concert, that we do that.
And also, as the older brother, normally you're like, no, we're doing what I'm saying. We're not doing
and for whatever reason, I was just like, yeah, to be fair, like, you know, we've got like a good like view, like we had really good seats. So I was like, yeah, to be fair, like, let's just stay then. And like, if we get stuck in traffic, it is what it is.
Yeah.
The concert ended, and then the lights came up. Everybody like started to get ready to go.
And it was them, wasn't it?
And then you just heard this bang, and everybody was like looking around. I'd say there was like a 5-second moment where it was silence across the entire arena.
Yeah.
And everybody looked around and was like, what was that? Like, people were then started to throw out different things that they thought it was. Like, somebody said it was a big balloon that had gone off near a microphone. Someone was like, it's just like a sound thing. And then there was like this big like archway that would lead out from the arena floor to like all the exits and stuff. And people started running out of
so
that
you can
into
see that
the
from
thing.
your side.
Yeah, and we could see it from where we were. Like, say, like, we're here, the stage is there, the thing's there, and we can see people running into the arena from there.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was chaos. Everybody screaming, jumping. People were jumping off the balconies. I was obviously thinking, I've got my little sister here. Like, what do I do? Like, I am not a parent. I'd never like felt before like
a fear like that, I'm guessing. Like, especially when you've got someone younger than you who is your family.
I'm responsible for her.
Yeah.
Like, before that, because I was only 17 years old, 18 years old.
Oh my God, you was young then. I don't know why I was expecting you to be older than that.
I think I just turned 18, I think. And I was, for the first time in my life, realising what it feels like to put somebody else's life before my own.
Yeah.
So I was like lifting her up over the, because we couldn't even get to like the stairs in like between. So we were climbing over the seats to try to get to an exit that was like up there. I like carried her. So I ran like a different, like around than where everyone else was going with my little sister. We literally just like turned around, found another exit, ran out. And all that I kept thinking was, that's where my mum was supposed to be. That's where my mum and my stepdad, like, are they there? Like, what's happening? Got into the car, and luckily my parents were there. They were in the car, and it was so weird. My mum had like a petty argument with my stepdad whilst they were waiting, and stormed off to the car. Like, literally about like something ridiculous about like him like focusing on work when they were supposed to be having a date, something like that. Stormed off to the car. They're now waiting in the car. And
you didn't even go over. That's like a sign from God or something that like they made you all leave.
It's crazy. Like, all of it. We like, there was so many things that were leading to us being at that exit, and we just weren't.
I wanted to actually play a fun game with you.
Okay.
I like the kind of opinions. We give good opinions, I think.
We do.
So we're going to play Pick an Ick, which is your favourite and your least favourite.
Yes.
Just quick fire.
Right, wait, let me get my phone out because I wrote this down. I am prepared.
She's going to be like, okay, this is the answer. Just give it to me. I'll be like, okay, next one. Right, first up, I've got 3 topics. So, first of all, fashion trend.
Pick, for me, Crocs.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry that I did not wear them today. I literally saw them as I was about to leave. And the thing is, when I wear Crocs, they get called out and people look at them, and all of my Crocs were dirty. So I was like, I cannot be coming onto this gorgeous podcast with dirty Crocs.
I would have loved it.
And my ick is probably like low-rise jeans, just because if I wore them, it would be offensive to everyone around me.
Wait, like
you can pull them off.
Or like...
yeah, I mean, I'm not being funny. Look at you. You can pull them off.
Stop.
If I was to wear anything along those lines, it would just be, I'd look like a bubble wrapped in like sellotape or something. It would just be horrific.
Okay, well, the next one is a celebrity.
My pick for celebrity, Olivia Rodrigo.
Love her. I'm going to her tour.
Adore her. Right, so I'm on tour at the same time as her tour, but I found out that there is a show that I can go to when she's not doing a show. So I'm going to try to get tickets to that.
Okay, you're
Don't
coming.
know how because it's sold out, but I'm going to try.
You'll be ringing every company.
Literally. I just love her.
Please.
I think that she is so talented. I think that she's so needed as well for Gen Z. She just, there just wasn't really anybody who was speaking from Gen Z's point of view from like a more relatable, like heartbreak. Like you've got like the Billie Eilish who is like, yeah, like if you listen to the lyrics of her songs, like it's relatable, but like she as a person, she's so cool, so edgy, so like mysterious.
More than Olivia's so normal.
So normal.
Yeah.
So like she just gives off the best vibes. And I feel like if I ever met her in person, I'd be like, this is an amazing girl. So she's my pick, definitely.
Who's your ick?
My ick. So I've been rewatching the Kardashians at the minute, like loads. And I just think, do you know, have you ever watched it?
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian's best mate, Jonathan. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just watching it and I think, what are you doing? He just follows Kim Kardashian around the world.
Yeah, it is a
He's
little
so
bit like,
rude
do
to
you
everyone.
have a, like
what's your
what do you
life?
do?
Like, he just seems so, every like reality TV show that I've ever seen him on, he just seems so rude. And I think, Jonathan Cheban, get lost. Like,
We're calling you out on this
We're calling you out. Do you know what, Jonathan? I know you watch. I know you're a fan. Shut up. All right. Shut up. And he's just had the weirdest,
Jonathan.
he's had the weirdest plastic surgery. I can't even, I'm like, what is this man? What does he do? What is his job? Is it following Kim Kardashian around? I don't know.
He's basically a fan of her in disguise.
He is. Like,
this
what is
what I
happening?
think. No, honestly, I love the Kardashians.
I love
Great
the Kardashians.
show. And I do think they're not like their new one's so good.
So good.
The way they
I
put
love
it together and it's
so
just
brilliant.
clean.
Yeah.
It's just clean.
It's so good.
Right, okay, and then a podcast.
A podcast. I mean, I love. Wait, I wrote this down. My own, obviously.
Yeah.
No, my favorite podcast is I am obsessed with the Real Housewives franchises. Have you heard of it? Like Real Housewives of like Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of like
I've
they
heard
have
of
them
Real
all over the
Housewives,
place.
but they have a podcast.
No, so there's not really. So there's these two people that are Real Housewives that recap the shows.
Right.
And I'm that sad that just watching the shows doesn't cut it for me. I need to also watch two people that are on the show talk about their
the show.
experience on the show. Basically, I have no life. And I like to live vicariously through these middle-aged, incredibly rich women from America. It's called Two Teas in a Pod, and I love it.
One that I don't like, I don't actually know.
Me neither, because it's like, if I wouldn't know, because I've never listened to it.
You only listen to what you like, the look of.
I listen to like 3 podcasts, like continuously.
Yeah.
And I
I'd
like
have to
them
say I
all.
love yours.
Thank you.
I love
That's
my
very
own,
good.
obviously.
I love your own as
I
well.
love
Yours is great.
Grace's.
Grace's is great.
She's got a great one. But other than that, I don't really listen to that many.
No, me neither.
So we've just done our pick and X, but I've actually got some listener questions that people from home have actually asked. And if you guys do want to ask us any questions, you can at Amy Charlize's private story on Instagram. You can just DM me or comment on a post and we'll get through them. Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, my celebrity crush. I mean,
Andrew.
Andrew. Hey,
Bless
when I
him.
met Austin Butler, that kind of rocked my world a little
Okay.
bit. Mostly because some people just demand such a presence when you meet them. I can't even explain it. Like, he was speaking so quietly when I interviewed him into the microphone in like the deepest voice ever that I couldn't actually hear him in person.
Yeah.
But on the live stream afterwards, I listened to it back and he's like, yeah, so like when we were shooting in the dunes, we were doing this. And I am there going, yeah. He could have been like, yeah, so while we were filming, my mum got ran over.
You'd be
and
like,
this. And I
"Good
was
for
like, that's so
you."
good. Oh my God. But I just could not hear him. But something about that. And like when he shook my hand and looked into my eyes, I said, I will have your children. It's not physically possible.
No.
But I'm sure we can find a way. So no, it was that's that for me.
Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I feel like this is kind of like what do you want to do in your future?
I mean, if you would have asked me this when I first started social media, I would have said to just like be able to get a bit of money from it and like also do my day job. And then after I did it for a year, I was like, oh, like interviewing seems fun, and I maybe like get more developed relationships with brands and stuff like that. And now 3 years into it, I'm like, do you know what? The sky's your limit. Like if you don't like manifest and put it out there what you want to do, then it probably won't happen. So like for me, I really want to go down like more interviewing, hosting, presenting. I would love to have like my own show, whether that's like on YouTube or like with brands or something along those lines. Like, I don't get to do it as much on my podcast, but like I love sitting down and like interviewing people. Like even just like chatting with you. Like obviously you're asking me all the questions, but like,
we still get that chit chat.
Yeah, getting to like know you a little bit better. I just love it because it's such a closed off industry where like we all spend a lot of time by ourselves filming or like at events where it's awkward. So
small talk and then you go home. Like, you don't really get to know people.
So to get to do this, I just love it. So I would love to just have an opportunity to have a job that enables me to do that. Like whether that's in like radio or like, you know, somewhere along the lines like TV one day. Like it's crazy to think that could happen, but
I think you and your own radio show would be
I would love
bang.
that. I would love
it.
that. Just like chatting for days.
Yeah, and
like,
you could just talk about all the celebrity gossip that I want to hear.
I would absolutely
Rebecca Vardy, get her on. Get her on. I want to see her.
That is a shout. I'm gonna
settle the beef with her. Then you've got Ekin.
Oh my god,
can we settle the beef?
We've already settled the beef.
Oh, okay.
So people don't know this. So me and Ekin like message. Like I
remember this tweet coming out calling
this
you out.
This was a wild time.
I was with my sister and went, hang on, chokes on my tea. I'm like, what?
Imagine how I felt. I was shook. I had literally just been on a trip, had an experience with someone who shall not be named, and spoke about that experience on my podcast.
Yeah.
And then Ekin-Su, who I loved, like she just won Love Island. I thought she was the most iconic like Love Islander of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I saw the tweet and it was like, F you, Max, like all of this stuff. And I was like, what is going on? And then all of her fans started attacking me. I was like, what is going on?
It was when you strutted in front of her.
Oh my God. Well, that was actually, see, that moment seemed a lot like
I know what you mean. It probably
like,
definitely wasn't even like that.
We literally was at, I want to say the Barbie movie premiere. And we were all in this room, like, before we got brought out.
Yeah.
And we were all, like, walking together. It was, like, me, Anastasia, Joe was there. And then I had to run back to get my wristband because I hadn't been given a wristband or something.
Right.
So they were all waiting for me there. And then Ekin-Su came out as I was coming in. And at this point, like, we're not, like... I don't have anything against her at this point, but, like, she's, like, written that tweet and it's all a bit weird and stuff. So I was just like, right, okay, just don't say anything, whatever, carry on. Go to get my wristband. And then there was this huge crowd of people, like, surrounding, like, everything, because it was literally the Barbie premiere, obviously.
Yeah.
And I would have had no way other than to literally... So I stood there waiting for her for ages because, like, she was getting all the pictures taken. And then Joe was Joe was just like, he causes chaos wherever he goes. And he was, like, laughing so much. And they'd just had to walk in front of her as well.
Yeah.
But then I was, like, making a joke out of it. So I was like, oh, my God, so I'm going to have to walk in front of her. Like, she's getting her pictures taken. So I was, like, looking at Joe. And, like, we do this thing where, like, we see each other and we'll be like, hey. So I was, like, strutting, like, joking. And thinking, obviously, nobody's going to see this. Like, who cares?
No, but who filmed it?
Some randomer. I have no idea. And then it, like, when you watch the video back, it looks like I just, like, appear, see that she's getting paparazzi, and I'm like, do you know what? This is my moment. And, like, walked in front of it. But I was waiting there for ages. So it is quite funny. But then everyone was like, how dare he ruin her picture? I was like, she is gorgeous. Me walking past in a Crocs suit. This is not... The paparazzi do not care. They are probably like, who is this weirdo? Like,
get him off our screen, Ekin, come back. Oh,
but no,
my God.
I bumped into her I bumped into her a few times, but I bumped into her at a movie premiere recently.
Yeah.
And every time I walk past her, I just like either like smile at her, whatever. Like we exchanged like weird looks. This occasion, she like looks at me directly and smiles at me. And I'm like, oh, what's happening? And then she grabs my arm and she goes, Max, it's really nice to see you. I'm thinking, am I about to get smacked? Like, what's happening?
Beef on the red carpet.
Literally, like, what is happening?
Oh my God.
And then she was like, no, I mean it. It's really nice to see you. So I'm like, thank you. That's so lovely. And then I have to go get my picture taken. She goes inside, come back in. She's there waiting at the door, like, because she was like dealing with something. She wasn't waiting for me.
Yeah.
She's just waiting for me. Yeah. No, and then she grabs me again and she goes, I mean it when I say, I'm really sorry about how I dealt with everything.
Oh my God.
She was like, and then she said some other things that I won't disclose because it was like private stuff. But she was basically just like, I'm really sorry and I hope you can forgive me. And I was like, to be honest, I was like, it was never that deep with me because I never had a problem with you.
No.
I was like, I had a problem with that guy.
So, guys, we've gone off on a massive tangent and haven't got time for any more of your questions, but you can get in contact now at Ami Charlize's private story and DM me for the future guest that comes on. But yeah, thank you for everyone that did ask. I've actually got my last final question, which is, what is your private story, Max?
Wait, right, okay, this is my private story
Okay.
that I've never shared on the internet for good reason.
Right.
Like you said, I've literally told every awful thing about my life, but this one I've kept secret because it's so disgusting.
Okay.
The first time that I went to a festival, I was 16, and I obviously just did not know how to be an adult. Like, I was literally like a loser. Don't know why I thought that this was acceptable. But at the festival, it rained like the entire time. It was awful. Like, all of our stuff like got wet, and it was just not a great time. And I thought it would be a good idea to wear the same socks for the entire festival, because I was like, all my socks are wet. What's the point in taking these socks off and putting new ones on? Stupid, disgusting, like, grow up, you unhygienic freak. That was at me, by the way, not at you.
To be fair, thanks. I've already showered today, but okay then. Right.
And so this festival, I was there for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Get home and like have a shower for the first time, all this stuff. I literally had like trench foot.
Are you joking?
No, like I had fungus like growing into the bottom of my feet. I had to go to the hospital, to the doctors, and was like, what is wrong with me? I tried like, do you know them like foot things that you can do to like scrape stuff? I was like bleeding. It was like, I don't know how the hell that something crawled into my foot and tried to lay eggs. It was one of the vilest things I've ever seen. I was obviously 16 as well, so I'm like crying. Like, what is happening to me? Like, is this the point where I get like my superpowers and I'm now like fungus man or something?
Yeah.
It was horrible. And
this is your sign to change your socks.
Literally, like, if you are being as silly as me and going to
I get your
anything,
thought process though, because it's like, why would I do that? And also, like, it's so dirty there anyways, you wouldn't really think it's a problem.
But no, that is gross. Like, change your socks if they're wet. Like, that's disgusting. And I had to, I think I was on like some sort of medication, or I just had to like get this like scrub. I can't remember. I blocked a lot of it out because it was so awful. But yeah, that is the one story that I've never actually shared with the internet for good reason. I had trench
We've had
foot.
some lovely stories in here, but that is one of the most weirdest but funniest stories. Thank you so much
You
for
are
that.
welcome.
But thank you for coming on. It's honestly been a pleasure having you.
It's such a pleasure. And I think you should be so proud of yourself, especially at your age, to be able to interview people the way that you do. Like, I feel so comfortable. I've had such a great time. And yeah. And
guys, if you want to go to his tour though,
get tickets now
at uselesshotline.com.
If you want to listen to my podcast, I'm getting Ami on it soon, against her will. So yeah.
Thank you so much, and thanks for coming on. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you've enjoyed season 1, but now we're on to season 2 for bigger and better, and I can't wait for you guys to see what we've got in store. Make sure to subscribe to the show now on YouTube, as well as follow us on Spotify or your podcast app of choice, and make sure to like, comment, and leave a review now. And please get in touch now with your questions, stories, and dilemmas. We love hearing from you guys, and I can't wait to hear even more crazy stuff in season 2. So please get in contact now at Ami Charlize's private story on Instagram, and you can also follow me over on TikTok. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.
Bye.